take two. Hello, so I am going to do a yapping video. I've been seeing a lot of these in my feed where people just kind of share their thoughts really like unfilteredly, candidly, and in a way that is kind of just like free-flowing thought. So this could be the most boring or the most interesting video you might have ever seen. I guess today is going to be opening this package as I talk. There may only be cuts in the video if I'm just like trying to get something, but yeah, I would say recently it's been really interesting. I have been doing a lot of different things. I opened a store this past weekend, which has felt kind of crazy if I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I just feel a lot of things, honestly. Like, I've been doing notebeans on the side for like 6 years. I did it as a side quest as a student. I still do it on the side quests as part of my full-time job. And I feel like part of that reason is just like, you know, trying to prove to myself that like, you know, I'm using my degree, I can, you know, live up to maybe the hopes that my parents have had for me in higher education. And yeah, I don't know, it's a lot of complex thoughts that I think a lot of people who, you know, pursue creativity as a side hustle kind of experience. But definitely working alongside such talented artists with the storefront has really made me think about like, you know, am I willing to do what it takes to take this full time? I think like energy grows where our attention goes, and like just like, you know, gas fills the room that it's in. I think like our dream is that container, right? Like the smaller we dream, the smaller time and like space and energy we allow that to grow, we make it to that far, right? So I don't know, I've just kind of been thinking a lot about that. Let me rip this tape really quick. Whoa. Oh no. Uh-oh. This is not good. I'm so shocked, actually. I received the wrong order. This is a very beautiful design, but it's not mine. Oh no. Wow, I'm shocked, actually. This is a live reaction. I was like totally expecting my print. I think I'm gonna have to send this to imprint. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, that was interesting. I guess way less, wow, okay. Okay, I guess back to, yeah, I think I've just been thinking a lot about like how I want to grow notebeans, and I've been doing a lot of like partnerships and licensing kind of opportunistic projects, and I've started doing live illustration like 2-3 years ago, or 2 years ago now, and I've been fortunate enough to have opportunities to kind of keep practicing it, and it's something that I don't think makes as much money as like commissions, but it's so fulfilling and interesting, and like I love just being a part of like people's special events and special moments. So I think for me, like that's kind of enough in a way. But yeah, I think it's just like interesting to be in this season of life right now where like I'm working a full-time job. I have like, you know, freelancing and social media management and videography and art. You know, I have my business, and my work involves like working for an artist marketplace. So there's a lot of like me being able to support and help artists through my marketing skills. And I think all of those skills from my corporate job have for sure carried over into like how I apply myself within, you know, like the storefront collective, within my business, how I optimize. And a lot of the mentors I look up to have always preached that like their corporate careers had like set them up for success for their businesses. So it's like, I think it's just one of those moments where like on a pathless path, there's no like right answer. You just have to do what makes sense and what is like best to optimize for you and your business based on like what makes sense for you and what you want out of your business too. Yeah, so I don't know. I think a lot of my thought process is a lot around like am I willing to do what it takes to take my art business to that level? And also like what boxes my business does and does not fit into. It's really interesting to see like different sales channel and like how they react differently, and like how does that shape how I'm like optimizing for those channels, and what kind of products do I design and order accordingly. So yeah, honestly, just, working with a lot of different projects right now. I feel very thankful to do what I do, and I'm not there yet, or it doesn't feel like it. I think there's still so much room for improvement for me, so much more room for growth. I'm still extremely small in a lot of different ways, but I've learned so many skills and I've applied so many skills from my different experiences into, like notebeans and with Don't Eat Me collective as well. So yeah, grand opening was just this weekend and it feels surreal. Like that's just day one. Like we had soft opening and preview weekend, but that's kind of feels like a very official day one. So this year is really one where like I want to make it count. I want to like for me, the fear of failing has now become lesser than the fear of like not having give it my all and not having see it through, right? Like the fear of like what could have been if I didn't, try my best. So I've been fortunate enough to like cruise through my art hobby and passion for the past years, but because I pursued it as a side quest as a student, like I didn't know what was at stake. And I feel like now that I've like worked corporate for like 6 months and I've worked in other companies, like a Singaporean VC for nonprofits, like for another 6 months prior, and I've done like freelancing for social media management with several different clients like for the past like 3 years now. Like I recognize like what's at stake because I know how much I've grown, but also not grown, I would say, in terms of like doing freelance marketing and marketing career overall. Yeah, it's interesting. The pathways are very different. Like I feel like with freelance work and corporate work, it's very like the same thing, every week. There's like campaigns and unique stuff happening here and there, but like it's all kind of the same. So yeah, I think with notebeans, it's like it's so volatile. There's so many different like changing parts, but it's so exciting because like you can really create anything you want and just like see what comes out of it. Like I think when I like put together my booking events page, like I was like, man, like I've only done like one live illustration. Like who would book me for like anything else? And like opportunities came up. I asked for reviews and like everything just like compounds and like you have to kind of create that and manifest that in a way, like create your opportunities. So yeah, I don't know, not much like decisive like takeaways or anything, but I think for sure it's like, am I ready to leave my mark? Am I ready to do what it takes? And am I willing to give it my all, because like just make it count, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go submit a complaint that I got the wrong print. That's so embarrassing. But yeah, this is my first yapping video. It was kind of fun to do. Don't know if I'll do it again, but I hope it was interesting and insightful to just like hear my unfiltered thoughts. But